I was talking to some of my friends today and they were saying how bad they felt for Kayla Nicole. Like, he did her dirty. No lie, no tea, no shade. Their relationship, dirty.
I look like I would go 50-50 on bills.
What's wrong with that?
Okay. So yeah, that was ridiculous. But he addressed that too, though.
So
that
parents...
I don't even know why that even became a thing. Yeah, that was never an issue in our relationship, but it was definitely a rumor on the
Now everyone knows that Taylor Swift got engaged today, and she was engaged to Travis Kelce. But to me, like, that's not the interesting part. I was talking to some of my friends today, and they were saying how...
Welcome back to your daily dose of scandal and glamour. Travis Kelce might be rocking a diamond on his finger with Taylor Swift, but his ex Kayla Nicole just flipped the script, and the internet can't stop buzzing. From cryptic posts to bold claims that she's the one who molded Travis into the superstar he is today, Kayla's timing couldn't have been louder. This so-called fairy tale love story, it's looking messy already.
I work at it. I think joy is different from happiness. I feel like happiness is something you can get at 7-Eleven, and joy is something that you earn and work for and takes practice. I feel like joy has legs.
Taylor Swift and Travis didn't just announce an engagement, they shut down the whole internet. The reveal came straight from Taylor's Instagram, and within hours, over 30 million likes poured in. Swifties were in tears of joy, NFL fans were fist pumping like it was Super Bowl Sunday, and for a second, it felt like the world just crowned its newest power couple. But while the crowd was celebrating, Kayla Nicole, the woman who held Travis down for 5 long years,
bad they felt for Kayla Nicole. Like, he did her dirty. No lie, no tea, no shade. Their relationship, dirty. I don't know if it was ever confirmed, but he cheated on her, wouldn't pay for things, just bad overall. And he went and traded Taylor Swift like a queen. That's all we
was online too, and when she pressed post, the vibes around this royal wedding shifted instantly. Kayla isn't some forgotten fling. She's the one who stood by Travis through the grind, the rumors, the setbacks, and the chaos of building his legacy. 5 years of love, loyalty, and drama, all to watch Taylor swoop in and snatch the dream ending she never got. Fans didn't waste time. Timelines filled with people saying this isn't a fairy tale at all. It's straight up betrayal. Some even claimed Kayla was robbed of her happy ending, calling the engagement a cold, calculated move. And then came the revival of that infamous 50-50 rumor. The claim that Kayla had to split bills with Travis.
I don't know. I can't feel bad for her. At the end of the day, she wanted to be a wag. She allowed him to make her pay for half of everything to prove that she wasn't in it for the money. She put up with the cheating, which people do all the time.
Even though he was already a millionaire athlete, Kayla didn't just sit back and let the internet run wild. She clapped back herself. She straight up said, "Do I look like somebody who would ever go 50-50 on bills?" And honestly, she's got a point. Kayla's gorgeous, stylish, and far from broke. But still, the messy rumor refuses to die, and now it looks worse than ever. Why? Because Travis is out here spoiling Taylor like royalty, showering her with gifts, parading her around like a queen, and of course, sealing it all with a diamond ring. Fans are asking the obvious. So Kayla had to split bills, but Taylor gets the red carpet treatment. The math ain't mathing, and people online aren't letting it slide.
He knows where his loyalties lie. He don't owe Kayla Nicole or the plethora and harem of black women who think that they are desirable to other races outside of black men.
The whole thing is giving major starter wife vibes. Like Kayla was the practice run while Taylor is getting the perfected version of Travis. And let's be real, that would sting anybody. The drama only deepens when you bring up those long-standing whispers. The ones claiming Travis wasn't always faithful to Kayla. Nothing ever got proven, but the rumors never disappeared either. Kayla's supporters are furious, saying she wasted 5 years of loyalty and patience just to be swapped out for someone walking into the easy chapter.
While he's dated nothing but women of color and black women and ended up engaged to a white woman. He doesn't have to explain that. The problem is, y'all are so quick, like I always say on this app, y'all are so bad on condemning black men and thinking white men are gonna save you, especially the rich ones.
She stuck around through the grind, the gossip, the tears, only for Taylor to cash in on the shine. And here's where it gets spicy. A lot of people believe Kayla literally built Travis into who he is today. His style, his confidence, his whole vibe. She shaped the blueprint, but Taylor's the one reaping the rewards, and that's why things are exploding online right now. The internet wasted no time pointing out the elephant in the room. Travis spent 5 years with a black woman, but when it came time to put a ring on somebody's finger, he chose a white woman. For a lot of people, that feels like betrayal, a story they've seen play out way too many times.
But the biggest thing is she proved to that man that she was willing to do whatever to stay with him, and he allowed it, because why wouldn't he? So when you put up with whatever from a man, you can't be surprised when they...
A black woman holds a man down during the grind, through the struggle, through the chaos, only for him to level up and marry someone else once he's made it big. But not everyone agrees. Plenty of people clap back saying, relax, he doesn't owe anyone an explanation. Relationships end, things fall apart, and sometimes it's just not meant to be. Travis and Kayla lasted 5 years. It didn't work, and now he's moved on, period. Still, the divide online is brutal. One side is screaming betrayal, the other side is defending him with compatibility arguments. And right in the middle of the chaos, Kayla stirred the pot even more. The very same day Travis and Taylor's engagement news broke, Kayla posted a cryptic caption that read, "Joy is different from happiness. Happiness is something you can grab at 7-Eleven, but joy is something you earn, practice, and live through on its own." Now sure, on the surface it looks like a cute motivational line.
This to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce on their engagement. Much love and success in a long marriage, hopefully. But I'm gonna attack what y'all trying to do. Y'all trying to congratulate Taylor Swift while condemning Travis Kelce. That man does not have to explain.
But at that exact moment, everybody knew what it really was. Pure shade with a capital S. Fans dissected it instantly. Some called it subtle and classy. Others dragged her for trying too hard to play unbothered. And a whole crowd just said, "Girl, you pressed." Because let's be real, if she was truly unbothered, she wouldn't have posted at all. That's when the dragging hit overdrive. People resurfaced old clips of Kayla saying things like, "If you want me to cook or clean, pay me." Suddenly, critics flipped it on her. So you wanted wife benefits, but didn't want to be a wife? And the debate only got nastier from there. Taylor Swift is one of the richest women on the planet, but fans insist she'd still play the supportive role for Travis if he asked her to. And that, they say, is the difference. Online chatter keeps repeating the same theme. Taylor gives wifey energy, while critics claim Kayla was giving Instagram baddie energy. In their eyes, that's exactly why Travis made the switch. It wasn't just about romance, it was about image, stability, and long-term compatibility. Here's the cold reality. Travis Kelce is a 3-time Super Bowl champion. He's built his legacy, grown his empire, and now he's officially linked to one of the most powerful women alive. Kayla, she's undeniably stunning. No one disputes that, but the critics are ruthless. They point out her podcast numbers barely move, her brand has cooled off, and she only trends when Travis's name gets dragged into the mix. It's harsh, but it's the narrative that's taken over. She shined with him, and without him, she's fading into the background. Meanwhile, Taylor never needed Travis's clout, his fame, or even his money. She already had all of that times 10, yet she chose to stand by him anyway. And that's why people say this relationship clicks. Kayla, on the other hand, set boundaries, made it clear what she wouldn't tolerate, and eventually Travis called her bluff. It's that age-old story. The fun girl, the it girl, the stunning girl. She isn't always the forever girl. And that's what's unfolding right in front of millions of eyes. And just when you thought the dragging couldn't get any uglier, the internet went in harder. People started lining Kayla up with other women who lost famous men to bigger stars, tossing out brutal comments like, "She keeps catching L's," and "She'll always be the one before the upgrade." The comparisons were relentless, and Kayla's name kept getting pulled deeper into the fire. Brutal, but that's the internet for you. One day, you're the main character. The next day, you're reduced to a meme. But before we dive into the whole "is Kayla done" debate, let's hit pause and look at what Kayla herself has actually said on the record and how she's been trying to snatch her narrative back. On her own podcast, The Pregame, Kayla laid it all out. She admitted, "I'm sensitive, I am triggered, I want to clear my name, I want to address it." She made it clear this isn't about chasing attention, it's about reclaiming her voice in a story that's constantly being told for her. She's also clapped back publicly at the infamous 50-50 rumor more than once. On the Unapologetically Angel podcast, she shut it down hard, saying, "Do I look like anybody that would split anything?" She doubled down, adding she didn't even know why the rumor existed in the first place, and that splitting bills was never an issue in her relationship with Travis. But the most vulnerable side of Kayla came out on Special Forces, World's Toughest Test. Fighting back tears, she opened up about how exhausting the constant comparisons to Taylor Swift have been. "I just get a lot of hate because he's dating such a mega superstar. It's incessant. I could post about the sky being blue and people will still have a response about an ex and their new situation." Kayla admitted the online noise got so heavy, it made her question her own worth as a person. And if that wasn't enough, she later confessed that sometimes in the thick of it, she chose silence, hoping things would eventually blow over. But then came the painful truth. When she did finally address things, the storm only got louder. And she couldn't win either way. Kayla has said it herself. People think I'm doing it for attention, when all she's really doing is trying to speak on her own life. But the internet, it doesn't let up. And right after the engagement news dropped, she added more fuel with that cryptic Tracy Ellis Ross quote about joy versus happiness. Another subtle attempt to show she's grounded, focused, and unbothered, even while the whole world was spiraling over her ex's fairy tale announcement. So here's the million-dollar question. Is Kayla Nicole really done, or is she quietly plotting her comeback? Because let's keep it real, she knows exactly how this game works. One viral TikTok, one headline-grabbing mystery man, one messy red carpet appearance, and boom, Kayla's right back in the spotlight. She's not some random ex in the shadows either. Kayla has a following, she has powerful connections, and she understands how to play the social media machine. Even now, all it takes is a single post, even a basic inspirational quote, and the blogs explode, fans dissect it, and suddenly everyone assumes it's aimed at Travis and Taylor. That's not weakness, that's power. Even if it's messy, chaotic power. And we can't ignore the bigger picture here. Look around, plenty of women in the public eye have taken heartbreak and flipped the script into a major glow-up. Ciara was once dragged after Future, but now she's living her best fairy tale with Russell Wilson. Angela Simmons went from messy tabloid drama to a full-on rebrand. Even Kourtney Kardashian, forever painted as Scott Disick's long-suffering ex, eventually flipped her narrative and came out stronger. So is Kayla about to fade into the background, or is she setting herself up to be the next one who turns heartbreak into a headline-making rebirth? Look at what happened when Kourtney Kardashian linked up with Travis Barker. Full image flip. Kayla could absolutely pull the same move. The question is, will she? Right now, she's stuck in that awkward lane of being the one who got left behind. And let's be real, nobody wants to wear that title forever. If she's smart, she'll turn this so-called L into the next chapter of her story. But if she keeps dropping cryptic quotes and subtle shade, people are going to tune out fast. And imagine this, Kayla popping out with someone just as high profile or even bigger. Picture her courtside with an NBA superstar, or strutting down a red carpet arm in arm with a chart-topping rapper. The internet would detonate. Overnight, the narrative shifts. No more Kayla the ex. Instead, it's Kayla the upgrade. That's the kind of play that flips headlines in her favor instantly. But until that day comes, the dragging continues. She's still being framed as the placeholder while Travis basks in his fairy tale. And here's the part people are finally calling out, the double standard. Men can move on, level up, and the world cheers them on. Travis proposes to Taylor, and suddenly he's the picture of romance, the perfect husband-to-be, committed and mature. Meanwhile, Kayla posts about joy versus happiness, and she's instantly labeled bitter, petty, or pressed. That's the cycle we've seen 1,000 times before. Women in the spotlight always held to a harsher standard. If they move on too fast, they're branded clout chasers. If they take their time, they're painted as desperate or stuck. It's a lose-lose every single time, and that's exactly why so many people, especially black women, are rallying behind Kayla, saying she deserves better. Everybody sees the pattern now. The way the internet flipped the script on Kayla overnight, turning her into the villain while Travis walks away with the shiny hero edit. And let's be real, Kayla's not perfect. She's made comments that rub people the wrong way. She's leaned into the influencer lane. And yeah, sometimes that fed the stereotype. But the dragging she's facing, some argue it's completely out of proportion. Here's the bigger truth. Travis Kelce didn't just switch girlfriends, he switched lanes. He went from 5 years of roller coaster chaos with Kayla Nicole to a record-shattering engagement with Taylor Swift. That's not just moving on, that's a whole narrative reset. Now, people are split right down the middle. Some say he leveled up, some scream he betrayed Kayla, and others claim she played herself. But the reality is harsh. Travis chose the woman who fits his next chapter, and in his eyes, Kayla just wasn't it. But here's where it gets juicy. What happens next? Does Kayla stay boxed in as the one who got left behind? Or does she flip the script, rebrand, and storm back into the spotlight stronger than ever? Because one thing's for certain, this story is nowhere near finished. With Taylor's unstoppable fan base, Travis's global fame, and Kayla's perfectly timed shade posts, the drama is only heating up. So the real question is, did Kayla get done dirty? Or is this just the brutal reality of love, image, and timing? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest tea. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.